Welcome back to CCRPG. We are returning to the session after a pretty large revelation of Curry's former allegiances and what his state on the crew is, as CHIMERA walked in on RC and him arguing with each other about some things. Now, so far as we know, both Evelene and Astro now know about Curry's past, and we'll have to figure out what to do with that information. But all the while these things were happening back on the ship, below ground, Steve was doing some recon, and things weren't starting off the best. KESTRAL, why don't you tell me what you've come to a decision on there?
All right. Well, it'd be boring not to push this at this point, so I'm going to push it. My haggle or wager to you as the GM is that I would like to use two. I'm gonna push for it. 2 out of my 3 hex charges, which is one of my special systems I have for laying mines or throwing grenades in combat. And I only have 3 charges. I want to use 2 of them set up as like an escape point that will cause like rubble to like block the way if I need to get out quickly. So what'll happen is that by making the first bad roll, it does go poorly. But if I can get over a 10 or ideally over a 20, I don't need to maybe, but I would use that as like a way to escape and not have to get caught into a fight or something. Does that make sense?
Gotcha. I am willing to grant you the accuracy for the use of the 2 of those charges under the condition that they won't be recharged before the assault.
Of course. Yeah, of course. Yep.
Okay. There has to be an actual impact on the next battle.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. I'll go ahead and grant you accuracy for that. You can go ahead and make your pushed roll. We're looking now. Well, there
23.
We go. Okay. You made a profitable wager, sir.
Good.
As your roll a 13 plus a 4 from your accuracy plus another 6 because you're really damn good at this thing you wanted to do. I do think it is interesting that you would have only gotten a 19 if you didn't have that accuracy. So it really was having those hex charges ready that really let you get off scot-free here.
Okay. All right.
So, let's tell you what you get here. On a 20 plus, you get what you're looking for with no complications. That's
like
pretty good.
That.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
I had plenty of complications lined up for you.
Oh, well.
You can't use any of them.
KESTRAL, what you find while you're down here is... what order do you view things in, by the way? Are you going to the front lines to examine the underneath of the attack lines first, or are you examining the SCOM tower first?
I assume the SCOM tower is much more guarded, so that would be second.
Okay.
Out of those 2 things, I think.
Okay. So yeah, you go and examine what will be under the front lines. What you're able to determine, KESTRAL, is from what you can see, you don't see any more of those large canister bombs that you saw blow open other parts of the city. But what you do note is near where the underneath of the ravines are, where there were previously blown up areas, you do see that it appears SMAC has prepared and stationed some ambush forces under the ground that are meant to come behind and attack your groups after they've joined the battle already. They have set up an ambush squad to flank your assault after the assault starts.
Okay. So, first of all, I assume that they assumed this as well, but that means that they know that war's coming. We're not taking it by surprise.
That is one of the implications, yes. You also know that knowing about this tactic makes it far less effective. Because even if you just have, this, Steve, just surveying the kind of ambush forces they have set up, they are not up to the level that some of the groups that you're working with are, but would be real nasty if they were undetected before they unleashed hell. If Kingfisher, say, or maybe even Bete Noir were informed as to where they are and what they were preparing ahead of time, they could basically turn this back in on them and take them by surprise when they reveal themselves.
Interesting. Okay. I've got an idea of what I'll do with that.
Okay.
Anything else?
Nope, that's it that's what you obtained from the frontline info.
Okay.
Now, this is where I think probably things got complicated for you with your first roll. You weren't entirely sure what to expect in the SCOM tower, but what you definitely didn't expect is, well, first of all, the SCOM tower is a lot more artistic than you expected it to be. I don't know if you know a whole lot about like Terratella aesthetics, but it kind of looks like they tried to design like a Disney style tree out of a giant tower. Like it almost looks like you're in like the Animal Kingdom in Disney World or something. There's like a giant like metalish tree-shaped tower rising up out of the ground. It's very stylish. There are a lot of precious metals used in its construction. It's shiny. It is ostentatious. You do not have any idea why it was designed like this. And as you're admiring that, you notice that on the ground, it's much more mundane. It looks like a fallback base has been constructed around the base of the SCOM tower. You probably get a little closer than you would have liked before you realize this, because it seems like they're also trying not to be detected. You notice that there are more fortifications here than you would expect from a civilian building. And you note, after you maybe tiptoe a little bit closer than you would have liked, there are active forces here. And you're able to get out before things go to shit here. And you don't think they know who you are or what has detected them, but you don't know why this base is here, but they seem to have created a fortified fallback base at the base of the SCOM tower.
Rivaling the city center?
Not rivaling the city center. It seems more concentrated. It is much, much smaller in scale.
Okay.
You will note there are only SMAC forces here, and there are no Pit Wolves forces here.
Okay. Good note.
Can you remind me where the SCOM tower is in relation to everything else? Like,
it is under the part of the city that is controlled by SMAC, but it is not near the city center, which is where you're headed to.
Okay, but it is in the underground part of...
Yes. So you have to remember, like, the city's big. So imagine that the city center is in the center of SMAC's territory. Then the center south-ish would be where the SCOM tower is. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, KESTRAL, what do you come back with that information and do with it?
I'll come back and tell the others on the ship what I found. And then just after I go, I think maybe we let I'm still concerned about spies, I guess. I want to know, did you guys find anything, and maybe this leads into the next thing, did you guys find anything about their mobilization efforts, and do they seem to have any idea of what we're planning on doing?
So I guess Astro would have been monitoring this while Steve was out scouting. So do I need to roll check for this?
Yeah, let's double back and figure out what you guys have obtained here.
Sorry, it just greatly affects what I want to do then.
Yeah, no, this is the perfect time. We'll lead you guys all back up to this getting back together then. So let's start with COMET. COMET, leading back up to this, you were looking into how effective the diversion you were setting up was.
Yes.
COMET, after a few days, you realize that as certain diversionary transmitters are being moved around, you are starting to monitor enemy forces and movements, and you're really putting all of your focus into this.
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll for me. It would be... I think it would also be a gather information check. You're trying to see if this thing worked and find out the information on it and how it relates to things.
Sure. Could I do investigate?
Absolutely, you can.
Alrighty. Let's do it. Investigate. Let me make sure I don't have accuracy selected. I rolled a 9.
A 9. Okay.
Yeah.
On a 9, you could push this, but on a 9 or less, you can either get what you're looking for, but it immediately gets you into trouble, or you can not get the information you're looking for and get out now. So what this would probably translate based on what you're doing is you realize that after you've gotten into SMAC's like monitoring info, they're going to trace you out and lock you out of the system, so no one will be able to get in again. Meaning that like all attempts to figure this out in the future will be locked off. So you could do that. You could get this one answer, but then say Bête Noire might be less effective in the upcoming offensive. Or you can get out now and not get the information you're looking for and not get detected. So you have to determine which of those is better for you or push the roll.
I don't think I want to push the roll at this stage. I don't want to mess things up before they even start. I think I will get the information, but get locked out.
Okay. COMET, it becomes apparent to you that they are not moving their forces directly in relation to the transponders you were setting up. You know you were setting up a distraction, but it seems like either the distraction was noticed or they knew to notice it. So, I'm assuming this is what you're doing to get caught. You push deeper to see if you can figure out why they aren't responding. You were able to determine that there is a coded message that is arriving every 2 hours to SMAC, giving them updated information on the layout of the deployment.
Layout of our deployment?
That is correct.
Okay.
And after you find this information, you realize you have delved into a part of their systems that is carefully monitored, and there is no way to get out in time without leaving a trace.
All right.
You check again. That outlet into SMAC's data has been completely cut off now.
I'm locked out.
And anyone else who was using this vulnerability is also locked out.
All right, so jumping back to when Steve is debriefing us, I'll say, well, from what I could tell, they seem to be getting information about our deployments. So I think there is a spy. They mobilized some of their people in response to our diversionary transponders, but not really in the way we'd expect if we were fooling them.
I don't suppose you're able to track
2
where
hours.
It was going or anything.
Well, I tried to.
I guess there's no way.
I tried to, but unfortunately, I got locked out of their system, and they seem to patch that vulnerability now.
So who do we trust?
Ourselves.
If we believe Crux Croy and his message, I feel like maybe him.
I want to say I trust Ken as well, but the truth is I just don't really know any of these people too well.
I trust Galleon more than I trust Ken.
Anything's on the table.
Galleon's too straightforward to be deceiving, I guess.
I don't know. Looks can be deceiving. Probably don't want to underestimate him either.
I guess. That Noir?
Were you able to get any information on where this coded message is coming from, or were you locked out before you could do anything?
They traced me before I could get any more information about where it's coming from. All I know is they were getting this message on a regular 2-hour basis, containing information about our deployment and our positions. So they know something's coming. They're not going to be caught off guard.
Alrighty then.
I trust Hale.
Well, we can't make any kind of big tactical changes or anything without them finding out then.
Yeah.
We could share this information with all three of the pirate factions. Just be transparent. If we share it with one person, we might be unwittingly sharing it with the spy. But if we share it with everyone, then everyone knows that we know.
I trust Bet Noir.
You think?
I don't think that Smack would have tried to out them with us if they were working together in any kind of way.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I think they really want that favor.
I mean, Bet Noir is pretty devious and schemy. It could be all an elaborate ruse, pretending to frame them.
I suppose.
Here's Astro over here name dropping the name of the season.
That's right, Ruse.
He turns to the camera and smiles as he says it.
This truly
you truly are the Ruse.
Yeah.
Starring Astro Jamin.
So that's it then. Just a bunch of people doing a ruse. A Lancer subtitle ruse. All right, so
I'm willing to risk it. What about you guys?
risk telling Bet Noir only, or risk telling everyone?
You can tell everyone, but I want to tell Bet Noir about the other information that we found and not the others. I'm going to come back and tell everyone that I didn't find anything else down below, and that it's clear. And then I'm going to tell Bet Noir that I did find something else later, and that we're going to count on them to stop the counteroffensive.
Huh.
Are you sure that's a good idea?
Yeah.
This could
If we just tell
backfire.
everyone, it could. It is a gamble. You're right.
I'll trust your judgment, but I'm not sure that's a good idea.
All right. If you guys have a better idea, that's fine. But if we tell everyone about the ambush, there's just going to be more forces to deal with in other places because they're not diverting attention to a bad call.
What makes you think we can trust Bet Noir?
Because we owe
I
them a
don't-
favor? I don't know.
Who did we talk to when we were carrying that camera back?
Well, we talked to
It's
White
Ken.
Rabbit. Yeah.
They knew where we were going. They knew where we were going to be, right?
Yeah. They could have been tracking us before we even called Ken, though.
Or they can be tracking the camera.
Maybe. I just don't know about that Ken guy. And frankly, we don't have a lot of other great options, I guess. It's up to you guys. If you want to go along with my plan, I'll do it. I can contact Bet Noir, or one of you guys can. It doesn't matter.
No, go ahead. I think it's
You
probably
think
the best move right now.
Yeah. I'm gonna leave it to your discretion. I trust your instincts.
All right, Steve, does that mean you're going to reach out to Bet Noir?
Yeah. Well, I'm going to reach out to all of the captains, the space pirate captains.
Yeah,
and tell them
on the idea that you're like each giving them information, the
Mhm.
information you found.
Yeah. And then tell them that we didn't find anything down below. Or I didn't find anything down below, and that we should move forward, but we do have reason to believe that there is a mole somewhere.
Okay.
And then with Bet Noir, I'm going to attempt to communicate them privately. And then
Are you
tell
going to
them
get in direct contact with Tepsi then?
Yeah, if I can.
All right. You will have to play with her then.
Sure.
She comes on the line.
Yeah.
She's like, "Oh, one of the operators on Mr. Jamin's crew. What a pleasure to speak with you."
I don't really know how to play up into theatrics quite like you do and you enjoy, so I'm going to be a little bit more blunt, I think, if that's all right.
That's fine with me.
We know that there's a mole, and I don't think it's you.
Oh, I'm so glad I've won your trust.
Yeah, something like that. We did find movements down below. They're going to ambush.
Interesting. And why are you telling me about this?
Because I want you to deal with it. When the ambush happens, I want your people to be far enough back that they can pincer them in and take care of it. It should be an easy cleanup.
Huh.
This does two things for you. It helps solidify yourself with the other groups that aren't part of the mole, and it does give you a theatrical entrance into the war.
Well, you say you don't know theatrics, but you sure know how to catch my fancy.
What can I say? I'm a people pleaser.
You know, I'm really glad you called me. This is exactly the thing that my group of specialists is perfectly equipped to handle. We wanted to hang back anyway, so I don't think anyone will find it too surprising we're a little bit further back than everyone else, and I'll keep a close eye on those ingress points for you, and I like to give my boys a nice easy cleanup. Make sure they're not too tired for all the other work I have for them.
As long as that other work doesn't involve us or my crew, I don't care.
No, you're an asset now. I don't throw away my assets without recompense.
I just kind of give her a nod, a blank face nod.
Thanks again. I'm sure that this will be a fruitful partnership.
Just don't make me look like a fool.
Oh, no. Everyone will think you're as sly as a fox. And then her feed ends.
I get it, because she has a mask as a fox.
What can I say?
see
She
what
loves
she did.
playing it up.
Yeah.
That she does.
Listen, I have to have some outlet to be crazy characters, right? It's my right.
No, I'm
Hey,
not.
I'm glad you're
got the
doing
power.
it.
All right, after I take care of that, I'll meet back up with the others. Or maybe we were all there. I don't know. Just go. Well, I've either doomed us or saved us, so there's that.
Well, if the ambush still goes underway as planned, at least we know who the mole is. By then, it might be too late to matter, but, hey.
I guess.
Hey guys, I'm just gonna be honest. I'm still going to say that I like the idea of us leaving here a lot better than sticking around, even though I do want to know what's going on. It's still an option, and if things get hairy out there, it's one we should probably take.
Yeah, it's probably smart to have a getaway planned at
Have
any
they allowed
moment.
us to refill the ship yet?
Good question. I don't think we've asked. I can check with them. Could just say that we're hoping to prep before the swarm gets here.
That involves talking to Ken, I think. Maybe we
You
should
really
have
don't trust
Curry-
Ken, do you?
I don't.
What is your beef with Ken? I'm not. It's
I don't
surprising
have-
to me. That's all.
If I had a good answer for you, I would give it to you. Sometimes you just have to trust your feelings on things like this.
So like a
and
hunch.
It's just what I've got, more or less.
All right.
And if I'm wrong, then I'm wrong, and that's fine, but I'd rather be safe than sorry.
If he ends up being a betrayer, then we can tell him his band sucks on the way out.
I'm sure that would devastate him.
It would be a burn. It'd be a deep burn, all right. You know me. I know all about burning stuff.
Man, Michael City Limits would be super sad to get caught up in that insult, not having
Oh, you're
anything to do
right.
with this.
The city
Yeah,
limits
how
is
can
cool.
you forget about Michael
Never-
City Limits?
Never mind. I take that back. I would never insult the band.
I can say, we don't always have to talk with Ken. Maybe there's some other grunt I can talk to with White Rabbit, see about refueling our ship.
Why don't we talk to the people who are working at the port? I'm pretty sure they would have been told whether or not we're allowed to fuel up.
Sure.
Yeah, and if that
Worth
doesn't
asking.
work, let's not make a big stink about it, and let's just have Curry and RC do it while the fight's going on.
Yeah, just ask if we have been given permission to refuel, whatever.
Listen, since you brought up Curry, I feel like I should just let you guys know. RC apparently did some digging, found out Curry faked his background, actually from the FFC. I don't think
What?
he's anything
I
we
never
have.
knew that.
Evelene, RC mentioned you. I figured you knew too.
Oh, I knew.
But I don't. I think it's a distraction. I don't think Curry's someone we have to worry about. So he falsified his records. But Ren vouches for him. I think that's all I need to hear. But you have a right to know.
I think
And
at this point,
Since we're talking about a mole, it has every option has. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna say at this point, it's probably fine because Ren probably was able to figure that out.
Yeah, if there's a mole in his crew, it's more likely to be RC than Curry. So like I trust him.
I was
And
just about
if
to say that. Should we be looking at RC as an option here?
And I feel like if the mole is on our crew, Astro, you should be able to look through our systems to see any outgoing communications of any type.
True.
I suppose I should check that.
He did spill on us when he was captured by White Rabbit.
Yeah, but then what? White Rabbit.
However, with that being said, I don't think RC knows anything about troop placements.
Yeah, I mean,
Aside
it's
from
possible.
possibly us.
It's possible he's using our ship systems to monitor troop placements. He would be able to do that.
Well, I mean, you can check real quick to see any outgoing messages on a 2-hour interval.
Yeah, I'll do that. He probably, if it was him, he'd probably try to hide his tracks, so I might have to do a little digging in the computer systems. But we should be checking every option. All right, I might as well get started on that.
Yeah,
All right. Yeah.
While you're doing that, I kind of want to pursue my own thing, but we can address it as opportunity provides, I guess.
Sure. Let's have COMET just do his thing to take a look, and then we'll check with you, Chimera, and then I want to stop over to Orion as well. So,
Okay.
Firstly, COMET, go ahead and take a look and see if you can find anything on RC.
All right. Cool. So, I'll start combing through the logs, communication logs, and seeing if looks like there's anything out of place or like holes where there should have been, record of something, like evidence of things being deleted, checking command history, see what programs have been executed and so forth.
Yeah, okay, absolutely. This isn't actually going to be a role for you, Astro. This is something that you're just going to get for free because you're good enough to do this, and this is your ship. You know the ins and outs, probably even better than RC does.
I probably even designed like a lot of the software it's using or something. So you go ahead and look into it. And you're checking just largely for outbound transmissions. You do find some, but they're like read requests, basically. And it looks like they roughly line up to RC doing the background check he was doing on Curry. So you now are basically able to find the record of RC doing the background check on Curry. It looks like it took him a while because some of this info was pretty well hidden. But I would say you might even be a little bit impressed, just slightly. You can't give this little asshole too much, but you're like, wow, he was able to like figure out something that we didn't even think of. Yeah.
But as far as you're aware, there is no outgoing communications to anyone else on this planet.
And I was checking like for like everybody on the ship, not just RC.
Yes, that is your entire ship. Your entire ship is clean in that way. What I would say is the other thing you note is, yes, he has been doing what you told him to do. You can tell that his most recent commands that he's been running and programs he's been using is largely gate monitoring info. So he has been doing that for you.
Okay.
Also, he is currently winning your most recent chess match.
Of course he is. I'll tell the others. I'll say, well, RC's clean as far as I can tell.
Let's imagine that took you a little bit, so we'll come back to that.
Sure.
Chimera, you said you had something you wanted to check.
Yeah, so on the subject of Michael's city limits, I think Evelene wants to sort of reach out to him. Just like maybe she has a reason to go back to visiting White Rabbit, but she kind of wants to.
Sure.
He mentioned a while back that he had a way of like neutralizing that
Oh
that
yeah,
fluid.
yeah. How they did the research on the ferrofluid.
Yeah, she just wants to see like if that's anything we can sort of like take into the
Okay.
field, because it'd be really nice if our enemy mechs didn't explode on us.
Totally. I'm going to go ahead and give you this because
Okay.
there's no additional roll needed for it. You are able to meet up with City Limits. He is a very good engineer. Like he is as good as Talonflare says he is. He is able to explain to you the process he used to neutralize it, and it is a slow process he used that was extra careful to make sure nothing triggered. It is in some ways the opposite of boiling the frog that doesn't notice, right? He had to basically super cool the stuff slowly over time, so that it didn't realize it was being shut down. It took him basically the entire night in order to do that to this single mech that was, by the way, already incapacitated, right? Like, so there is something that can be done there, but in the time you have left, there's no way that he would be able to get something jury rigged in time that you would be able to use it in a fast-paced combat scenario.
That's unfortunate.
He definitely seems intrigued by the idea, though, and he basically is just straight up honest with you and tells you, like, if this is a thing that people are going to start seeing more often, finding a way to deal with it could be useful. So he is going to start dedicating some of his time into looking into that, and he is willing to like get you whatever info he comes up with on that. But that might be a long-term project kind of deal.
Well, I mean, much appreciated. Oh, you know what? There was one other thing. Evelyn just kind of scratches her head for a minute. If we can't suppress it, how hard would it be to set it off?
It's volatile, yes, but there is a logic in it that is hard to bypass. The one that we had was in a state where it already could have been set off. The mech that it was attached to was in a down position. It was ready to go. And to prevent capture, it could have destroyed itself and immolated itself. But it's very careful to not do that unless that is the case. I had to be very careful to not do that because it was already kind of in its trigger zone. I wouldn't know how to trick it into thinking it's in the trigger zone if it isn't.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, maybe something to think about also. Like, if it's too hard to, suppress the explosion, maybe it'd be easier to just, set it off. Like, if we can, like, send a signal or something. But
yeah, he'll tell you that he does think that's a good idea, but he thinks that might even be harder because he doesn't understand how this ferrofluid reasons, for lack of a better word. There's a programmatic element to it that is beyond him, right? He's like, there is a physical way to deal with it, and that is freezing, and that is the way he understands better. If we're getting into how to trick it, he has no idea how to go down that road right now, but that is something he will ponder.
All right. Well, I mean, appreciate at least talking it out, if nothing else.
Yeah, it was great talking to you. I know there's a lot of stuff coming up. They don't tell me everything, but I am getting shuttled off a planet back up to the fleet, so I wish you luck.
All right, well, safe travels.
He kind of like just like bids you goodbye, and before you go, he's like, wait, actually, he gets you a canister.
Oh.
And he goes, I meant to give this to you guys, but I got distracted. That's my fault. Since you were the ones who got us this, I got you a sample of the ferrofluid to take with you.
Interesting.
So he pulls up this giant canister that is the size of it's the size of the ghost trap from Ghostbusters, right? And he describes in there is exactly 1 gram of the ferrofluid under super cold conditions.
We don't need to be worried about this exploding, will we?
Oh, even if it explodes, it'll probably barely take out a room.
All right, so don't put it in the same room as the Thessalian liquid. Got it.
I was just imagining one of those big containers of like protein powder. But
yeah.
Still, big container for 1 gram of explosive ferrous fluid.
That's the point I was making. Yes, it is a container that for containing 1 gram of a substance seems large to you.
Well, I mean, it's keeping
That's just how much like liquid nitrogen needs to be in there. Maybe not liquid nitrogen, but
yeah, there is some sort of cooling system going on there.
Is this battery power? Like, is the cooling system gonna like die out at some point, or?
Oh yeah, it's fully charged though.
How long is the charge?
It should get you like 36 hours.
So what you're telling me is I need to plug this in.
Yeah, I thought that was evident.
I don't know, man. It's the future.
No, it isn't. It's provably the present.
I broke character there. Sorry. Okay, cool. Yeah, well, I hope we have an adapter for this, because otherwise we're host. Appreciate the sample, though.
I'm pretty sure we do.
I just think it'd be funny if it was like, oh, we don't have the it has like an Apple style UBC-D connection that we don't own.
You don't have the converter. Worse, you don't have the block that it needs to plug into to go into the wall.
Yeah.
But yeah, as long as you keep it attached to something powered, you have it will remain cold indefinitely. Once you detach it from anything powered, you can move it separately for 36 hours if it's at full charge.
Okay, cool. Hopefully we won't end up in a situation where they cut our power for more than 3 days.
Here, that 3 days.
Oh, 36
you know
hours.
how long 36 hours is?
Day and a half. I'm sorry.
Okay. Man, maybe he should have been more specific with you on the rules. Don't feed it after midnight.
Evelene wasn't good at math at school.
Well, here is my trapped present to you. I hope you all enjoy. And
look, put it in RC's bedroom. See how well that goes.
I was thinking that.
This is a prank, bro.
Well,
No, I'll put it somewhere where it'll be safe in case it explodes.
Evelene, you were able to reach out about things to counteract the ferrofluid. Unfortunately, it seems like the person who knows it best right now also seems entirely flummoxed by it. This is something that he reckons is beyond the technology level of anyone outside of like super secret science facilities, right? But he is able to get you a sample for your trouble.
Oh, yeah. I mean, this is so great. Thank you.
Yeah. All right, and then let's move to Orion. Orion, we haven't really heard from you much. What have you been doing in the lead up in preparation?
So everyone's been kind of off doing their own thing, and kind of two things. One of them pretty general. Orion's typical thing of making sure everything's ready. No accidental things forgotten. Everything's prepared type of thing that he always does prior to any mission. He's just super focused on that.
Yep. Team scout leader. Got it.
Yep. And the second thing is, like, Orion's kind of realized over the course of being here, since this is the first time he's really applied his medical knowledge in any way recently, that he just feels rusty and out of focus despite being the team's doctor. So he would like to get focused and spend any free time he has focusing on, I guess, just relearning things he had forgotten, learning, like reading things and trying to get his medical knowledge more in line.
Okay. Because this isn't a full downtime, and it's kind of a rush downtime, I'm willing to give your what you get from a get focused as a waning get focused. It will only apply while you're in the current mission.
That's fine.
Okay. So what were you thinking this new trigger would be?
Let's see here.
Or do you think it's just improving your trigger temporarily?
I think it's improving upon Patch, because Patch is the basis of his medical knowledge, and he is the doctor of the ship, and he's been using it a lot more here than he has like in any of the previous missions, really. So he's just trying to make sure that he's all up to date on everything. So that if it does come down to it, he can utilize it as effectively as he can.
Okay. What's your patch currently at?
+2.
Okay. Yeah, I will allow you a temporary up to +4 then for the remainder of the mission.
Okay.
We can say that, you're prepping by keeping your skills sharp. Like, you go back to the infirmary on the ship. You check to make sure all your tools are there. You take the time doing inventory, making sure that the Prometheus is like filled up with all of its like on-site gear you need. You do the thing where you unpack and repack something just to make sure that like some of it, like that everything on there is accounted for and stuff like that.
I make sure my personalization is back in working order because I removed some of the stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so you restock, you refocus, you are prepped to be ready if a medical situation arises. And I think part of that, like you even said, like there have been some patch things that have come up on this very mission, right? And you're like, you need to make sure you're ready for it. And that's what you do. Okay, cool. I like that. All right. So the group comes back together with that new information. And COMET, you go ahead and tell them, right?
Yeah. So the call is not coming from inside the house, best I can tell. So RC may be an asshole, but he's no spy.
That's a plus.
I would like to hand like 10 credits over to Dyne.
I take the 10 credits grinning.
Yeah.
But we're no closer to figuring out who is the spy, but it's not coming from our ship.
Technically we are. Yeah.
Well, I guess
closer by process of elimination.
You're right. Yeah, that's fair. So that's
I
good.
mean,
There
on the
weren't
bright
many
side,
other people in that meeting other than Ken and each individual party, and I don't know why, but I trust the other two space pirate groups.
well, we'll know pretty quick whether or not it's Bet Noir, and if it's not, I bet Tepsi is probably looking into that coded message. I get the feeling that's something that she's very interested in, so she can use it to her advantage in the future.
The one that takes 2 months to decode?
No, the coded message that's coming every 2 hours.
Oh, that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
I get the feeling that the coded message is probably not as difficult as the extremely complex encryption algorithm on that other message.
Now, normally I would give you guys reserves for the things you've done, but I am applying it based on what makes sense rather than giving you nebulous reserves. I am modifying what will happen at the upcoming battle based on these results.
Makes sense. Yeah, because we made some pretty influential decisions, I think.
Yep.
Especially telling Bet Noir and no one else. So that's going to make things shake out differently regardless of how we expect it to. Or hope it might.
Crucially, are you still letting the diversion plan go, even though you know it's not going to work now because they've planned for it? Like, is that part of your ploy to like let that fail on purpose so the spy doesn't figure out you figured them out? Or
yeah, so what information did we withhold from the others? We told them we suspect a mole. Did we just leave it at that?
Just their plans to assault us is what I left out. I told them that we're pretty sure there's a mole.
Did you tell them
we all
that did you tell them about, the troop movements we were observing? That it seems like they may not be falling for our diversion.
I think that I wouldn't. I don't know that I would have said that specifically unless they asked on the call. I just would have left it as we're pretty sure there's a mole.
I think it's implied.
Yeah,
I think they would assume that plan's a bust once finding out that information, unless you give them more information from that point.
Sure.
That was my thought. Yeah.
I don't know if the decision's above us, but I would recommend that we keep that in place. If possible, not let them know that we know. And hope that Bête Noire is good for their word, because we're gonna have to rely on them to deal with that ambush.
I'm sure it'll be fine. It'll all work out.
Well, I mean, we'll know it's coming for us. I mean,
yeah, we'll know, but it probably won't make things that much easier on us. We just won't be as surprised as we would be when they mop the floors with our bodies.
Get over here and mop our floors.
Mop our floors. That's the surprise. You're on cleaning duty.
No.
One of us can follow a similar role that Bête Noire is on our side. Hang back, take care of it when it comes, if it comes, or we can just trust Bête Noire does it.
If they don't do it, worst case scenario, if they don't do it and we leave one person behind, they're not going to be that equipped to deal with an ambush all on their own. We just have to go all in. I say we stick together, follow the plan, trust in the plan.
All right.
Plans never go wrong, right?
Never. Speaking of, so do you think there is anything else you would want to do beforehand in terms of side things or scenes you want between characters before we move forward to the assault?
The only thing I want to do now is message Honora. Let her know I got her last message, but it was garbled.
Okay.
And tell her that that there's about, well, maybe I won't tell her everything right now. But tell her we continue to investigate SMAC, and we think they are up to something very shady.
All right. Yeah, you can send that message. It will take some time to arrive.
All right, cool.
All right. So, the day of the battle comes?
Yes.
Okay. So, the plans are made. The tactics are drawn up. They try to take into account that, yes, there's going to be a spy. Someone is leaking their positions, but that won't entirely change what the plan is. You just know there's some additional things that need to be taken care of, and maybe some of the preparations you did will help alleviate some of those issues, or maybe they won't, but we'll find out soon enough. You are tasked with being one of the advanced groups that is going to attack a certain segment of the wall that is just past the large crevasses separating the areas. You're briefed that the wall section that you are trying to take is known to be manned by some auto turrets. And as soon as it comes under attack, they will probably divert some resources there to defend it. If you can take this area, it will open up an entire new avenue for which the other groups can funnel units into smack territory. So it'll be a big win if you can take it. Your mission is to go in, take out the turrets there, and hold the area long enough that the reinforcements can come in behind you and completely hold the way open. Any questions?
Sounds doable. Maybe. No questions here.
I love that.
I just want
The
to
way you said that
reiterate
made
to
me
the
think-
team. Sorry, go ahead.
Said the way you said that made me think Mission Impossible. Your mission, if you accept it.
Should you choose to accept it. Will this message self-destruct in 5 seconds?
No, but the ferrofluid will if you don't monitor it.
Yeah, before we leave, I'm gonna tell, if I haven't already, I'm gonna tell like Curry and I guess I should
Hey,
tell
here's a
everyone else.
lunchbox. It's a bomb.
Yeah, like, hey, they gave us a sample.
Charged.
They gave us a sample of that ferrous liquid stuff. It'll explode if it's not powered after 36 hours. So we got to keep this thing refrigerated.
I think one of my favorite things to do as a GM is to give the players something that's valuable or useful or important, but is also very dangerous.
You've already done it
It's
once.
the best. It's so fun.
Yeah. So
And then
I-
hand
I'm
it
gonna
off to an NPC that might possibly be a traitor.
well, I mean, my options are. I mean, actually, I probably would trust Jessica more than everyone else.
I think this makes sense, Chuck. I'm not doubting you.
I mean, it's working
I just love the
nonetheless.
circumstances. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm gonna trust Curry to find a place to store this where, one, it'll be powered, and two,
Yeah.
if it explodes, it
Cur-
won't blow us up. And don't put it in our
Curry is
room.
also Curry's also a tech like you.
Yeah.
He knows what he's doing. So yeah, I think of the people on the ship, for Evelene especially, Curry is probably the one whose judgment she would trust the most in how to he's also in charge of inventory in large part, like where things are on the ship. So yeah, he's probably a good choice in terms of like, where do we put this dangerous thing?
All right. Well, I'll see you later. Hope we don't die.
Yeah, and Evelene, I want to thank you again for trusting me. It means a lot.
Yeah. Don't mention it.
Well, I'm mentioning it right now because it's important.
No, I
But-
appreciate it. But never mention it again. You know what kind of trouble our team will cause.
he laughs heartily. He's like, it actually feels good to be shields down a
Yeah.
little bit. So
Look.
hey,
Yeah.
you better come back, right?
Yeah. I mean, if you're left alone with RC long enough, who else? Oh my God. Who knows who else will die?
He raises his hands, mocking. Is like, I can't be held accountable for the whims of fate and RC's being an asshole.
Valid.
Good luck out there.
Thanks.
It does seem to you, Evelene, that Curry seems even a little bit more relaxed than normal. Like, even when he was in a good mood before, there was always a sense of, like, contemplation in him that you could see. It definitely seems like he's maybe opened up to you a bit more.
That's good. I mean, honestly, in the back of my mind, I was wondering like how this would change our dynamic. Not like Evelene with Curry, but just in general, like, if Curry was going to be more on edge because now other people know his secret. But it sounds like it's helped him relax a bit more, which is a good thing.
I mean, you like very strongly came to his defense, and I think he took that to heart. So
Gotcha. I mean, it's not hard. I mean, if picking between two people, obviously I'm going to back up Curry over RC, but yeah, no, I mean,
fair
that
enough.
works out. She definitely
All right.
sticks to her guns and like she doesn't care about his stuff. So
All right. Anything else you guys need to take care of last minute, or the mission is a go?
I just want to reiterate to the team one more time, like as we're like getting ready and like moving out in mechs, like just again, if we come across this Mark Irons guys and his team and everything, it is an option for us to just leave if we're over our head. I just want us to remember that.
I agree. I agree. No reason to needlessly throw away our lives. We got a lot of intel here. I think it would be beneficial to truly figure out what the hell's going on here. But we don't need to run headfirst into a suicide mission. So yeah, Steve's absolutely right.
All right, well, good luck, everyone.
Before you guys leave, Jessica comes out to meet you, as does Curry. Curry was already there talking to Evelene. But Jessica just makes sure to say goodbye to you, Steve, and wishes everyone good luck. Curry, Astro, you told the rest of the crew, right?
Told them what?
About
Curry?
Yeah, you told the other ones, the other people, right? They know now. Does Curry know you told them? Did you just put it on the table for him that, like, hey, we all know, like, we're gonna have to talk about this later, or is that something you haven't broached yet?
Yeah, I would have after I told everyone at the meeting, I would catch up with Curry and say, hey, listen, I had to tell the rest of the crew. They had a right to know, especially considering what we're going into. But as long as you're on my crew, you're still, like, trusted. We'll talk about this later.
We don't have to get into it right now, because I think that's a great place to leave it. And if you, as a group, or even just you, Astro, want to have a more in-depth conversation with him about it afterwards, that's a great way to kind of, like, leave things for now.
Perfect.
But yeah, that can be something we return to after this. But Curry's there too. You know, he takes the package Evelene's given him. He just wants to make sure you guys all have the things you need. And they're getting ready to watch the DBC while you are gone. In response to what you guys checked on earlier, they were able to fuel up the DBC. It seems like the restriction on you guys having fuel was lifted.
Excellent.
So, in case you need a quick escape, Curry has already gone through and gotten the DBC refilled. And yeah, you should be good to go.
Well,
excellent.
Keep the engine running. Well, not literally, but have it ready for a quick getaway if we need it.
Yeah, you got it, boss. Don't worry. We'll be taking care of ourselves here. You guys watch yourselves out there.
Sounds good.
All right, then away we go. And speaking of which, away we hear.
Oh.
Whoa.
We're in a battle map.
You all have not had a control mission yet, so I'm going to explain the rules.
Okay.
A control mission requires the PCs to maintain control of 4 control zones for 6 rounds. The zones might contain important locations, like transmission towers, gun batteries, terminals, or hangars, or they might just be important strategically. What these control zones represent here is taking control of this section of the wall. You'll notice there are 2 control zones on this side of the wall and 2 control zones on the opposite side of the wall. The goal is, at the end of the 6th round, you will win if you have the highest score. The enemies will win if they have the highest score. If both of you have an equal score at the end of the 6th round, both of you are forced to retreat from this area. So it'll be kind of a null sector. So you're trying to take this section. If the enemies win, this will be a place they have stemmed the tide of the invading forces, and your side will not get through here. If you take it, this will be one of the ingress points for the invasion of Smack. Does this all make sense?
Yeah.
How
do we get points?
How does points happen?
At the end of every round, any control zone you control grants you 1 point.
Okay.
It's kind of like the first person shooter, like, Modern Warfare maps.
It's a little similar, yeah.
Yeah.
So is there a max of 4 points, I guess, a team can have?
No. If you hold all 4 points at the end of any round, you get an additional point.
Oh.
So if you control all 4 zones at the same time, you get 5 points at the end of the round.
What does controlling a point mean other than standing in it? If someone else is also standing in it, do we both get a point or neither?
It is a contested zone, and no one gets a point.
Even if you outnumber, say 2 of us,
Even if you outnumber,
Okay.
you have to completely control a zone to get any points for it.
All right.
Is there going to be a point counter somewhere, I guess, we can refer to?
I will keep track of it.
Okay.
I did not have the time to rig up like a fancy point counter, but you know what? I'm going to commit to it right now. On the video version of this episode, I will keep a point counter at the top of the screen so that everyone at home can follow along how many
Nice.
control points each side has as the battle goes on.
And we can ask you what the points are at any time?
Yes,
since
I
you
will be
won't see
keeping
it.
track of the points throughout the fight.
Okay.
Awesome.
Of course, you can also keep track of it yourself. It's only arithmetic.
I mean, we've established that.
but math is hard.
You overestimate my abilities with arithmetic.
All right. So the way this will start is you will notice that there is an enemy deployment zone and a player deployment zone. Currently, I have you 4 in the player deployment zone. Do not choose where you're starting yet, because additionally, what we are going to do is I and one of you, a representative of the players, are each going to roll a d6. Whoever rolls the lower result has to deploy first.
Got it.
Okay.
All right, so I'm going to roll a d6. The GM rolls a 1.
Ooh, nice. I'll roll d6. 6!
It seems like the enemies are deploying first. So, you will all now see where the
Okay.
first wave of enemies has chosen to deploy.
All right.
We
Yeah.
have 4 fighter ships and 2 smack berserkers.
Got
In
it.
addition, because smack has been allowed the time to fortify, you are contesting 2 additional hazards on this map. Those turrets at the center of the map are permanently in the control of smack. For as long as they're immobile, which means they cannot score points, right? They're purely defensive turrets, but they will be harassing you the whole time. So that is the additional bonus they have for defending their own territory, is you also have to deal with those turrets along the center of the map.
How high is the wall?
The wall is exactly like 1 space high.
Okay.
It is 1 unit, in quotation marks, high.
Also, are the
So
turrets
it's
attached to the wall?
The turrets are attached to those segments of the wall, yes.
So, like, tricks like, I don't know, like my grapple hooks would not be able to pull them off?
They are unmovable. They are bolted into the ground.
Well, I don't like that
they
at
are,
all.
They are full defensive turret emplacements.
But are they hackable?
Oh yeah. I'm not going to give away too much, but they are unmanned turrets, is what I will say.
Okay.
All right, and then just to reiterate, at the end of each round, each side gets 1 point for each control zone they control. If one side controls all 4 control zones, they get an additional point. I have deployed the enemies. Now the 4 of you can just decide anywhere in the player deployment zone where each of you wants to start the mission from. As a reminder, the players always start the mission with the first activation.
Right. So maybe two go for control zone 4 and 2 go for control zone 3.
I'm heading for 4.
I'm gonna stick with Chimera in case I want to become one with him.
Okay.
I will go
Excuse me.
with Orion then. Can split up that way. I mean, we can't just hold 3 and 4, you know.
Right.
Yeah. Well, my plan was to take on the 2 turrets on the left next to Control Zone 3. So I won't be holding
Sounds
down a
good.
point, but I can attack 2 at once, which I figure since they're next to each other, that might be an idea. Oh, I should move.
So hold on, you're going to like jump up next to them on their little platform.
Yeah. So if I run and boost, I can get up there, and then I can so basically it would be move, spend an action surge D&D. Overcharge, run the rest of the distance, and then I have a full action to do my drill, which can be used to attack 2 at once.
All right, so I won't attach myself to you.
You should do it anyway.
Right off
No.
the bat.
Yeah, you should probably take the control zone.
Sounds good.
All great fights start with Comet saying, "I won't attach to you yet."
Well, let's wait and see if a moment or an opportunity comes up for me to attach.
what was the main benefit of having the goblin mech, Bub?
Oh, it has this special ability where it can attach to other mechs, so it's a little bit less out of the line of
Does
fire
it?
because it's so vulnerable.
Does it? Because I've not seen that happen yet.
Look,
Unfortunately,
I'm all for him attaching to me, but he might
you would-
melt off.
You would burn
Yeah.
him off like a blister.
Kestrel's too much of a small boy. He's too small, and
It is
CHIMERA.
in a lot of ways, it is incredibly unfortunate that Rock isn't here.
I
because
know
he would
Rock
be
would have
the-
been perfect.
He would be the perfect candidate for you to attach to.
Oh my gosh,
Hey,
he'd be so good.
Hey, Astro, do you want to know what kind of mech that Torsay pilots? It's a goblin,
Of
and that's what
course.
she does.
Yeah,
So,
She
it would have
lucked
been
out.
so good with Spotter too, because like I can use all the spotters because I'm always adjacent to Rock because I'm attached to Rock. Yeah.
Here we are. You're always pining after your previous teammates. You're like, man,
What
why do
could
they
have
have to
been.
be good people and go out there and do important things for the
I just
universe?
should have made a goblin the first time around. I did it in the wrong
Well-
order.
Well, remember, you can switch to and from the goblin at any point.
Yeah, I still have my
between
license
missions.
for,
you know, if
forgot
the
about
goblin
that.
becomes useful again later, you can always come back to it, or vice versa. So
The goblin license was very good for its like additional invade
extra stuff, I assume.
Yeah,
oh yeah,
options and
totally,
stuff.
totally.
All right. So anyway,
All right, so are you ready to start the mission?
yes.
Yep.
All right. Well, then let me pull up my comp con of the battle. Who wants to go first?
I probably will want to go last. Just FYI, guys.
I can
So
go, I guess.
Actually, I'd like to go before you, Chimera, because
Yeah,
I want to
sure.
help you out with these turrets.
That'd be nice. Thank you.
So let me just think about the simulacrum quick action. Do. All right. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to tell Lynch, Lynch, I need you to make a simulacrum on those 2 turrets over there, pointing to the ones in front of us. Smack turret A and smack turret B. And so that's going
and
to
what size is that?
blast 3 area.
Okay, and who are you centering it on? What space are you centering it on?
I'll center it on smack turret A.
That's the one on the left, right?
That's the one on the left.
That look right?
Perfect. Yeah,
What does that do?
looks
What
good.
does that do again? I forget.
You know what? Let's actually move it up a little bit. Let's move it up. Can I move it up to the hex that's like above and in between A and B.
You mean what I just did?
Yes, exactly. Perfect.
Okay.
Yeah, now we have some of that control zone in there as well, like a good portion of it.
Cool.
All right, cool. And what that does, Chuck, is I'll tell you. I have full visibility within the affected area. Doesn't count as line of sight, though. I know all statistics, weapons, and systems of characters within the affected area. Hostile characters within the affected area don't benefit from cover, can't hide or become invisible. And hostile characters that end their turn in the affected area receive locked on and cease to be invisible or hidden.
Cool.
Okay,
So
and you get that for the whole scene.
for the whole scene until I
Nice.
like dismiss it or put a new simulacrum somewhere else.
And that is specifically the special bonus that Lynch gives you.
Yes.
Nice. Lynch comes online and says, I love the scenery.
Paint me a picture.
And gives
Lynch.
you a full readout. Yeah.
Yeah.
Gives you a full readout on everything in the area. Is there anything you want to ask now about those turrets since you can see their statistics?
Yeah, absolutely. I want to know what their let me see what their what is that I want to know? I forget what. Okay, let me know what their evasion is.
Their evasion is 7.
7 E defense.
E defense 12.
And structure is 1, I'm assuming.
1.
And what's their HP?
15.
Yeah, I'd say that seems like the first thing I would ask.
So I'm going to give you something right out because I kind of teased this earlier. They are a remote used non-piloted thing, which gives it a couple of benefits that you would notice immediately. One, it's immune to any actions that target a pilot directly. Okay? So like anything that says like fucks up the pilot, there's no pilot, so that doesn't work.
Right.
On
right,
the other hand, all hostile tech actions against them gain +1 accuracy.
Okay. That is good to know.
Interesting.
Very
Yeah,
good.
so all tech actions are more accurate against these turrets.
Good.
You also note they are loaded with a long-range cannon and a close-range repeater cannon with heavy explosives.
Okay.
The long-range cannon is long, arcing, and creates a large explosion. The short-range cannon can cause an explosion that pushes people backwards.
Good
Interesting.
to know. Good to know.
That's good to know from the beginning. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, then Astro is going to move up as soon as I figure out.
They also have siege armor, which means all damage to them that's beyond 3 from them is resisted. So they take half damage from things that are far away. These are defensive emplacements.
Got it. Hold on. Let me rethink this. So I just want to position myself in a tactical way. So I think what I'm going to do is move COMET into Control Zone 3. He's going to scuttle along in his goblin into the edge of Control Zone 3. And then you'll see some kind of like almost like these holographic projectors. What's the word? It's a word when something like telescopes out. You know what I mean?
Telescope?
Like, what's that?
I think the verb is telescope.
Yeah, I guess sort of. That's not exactly, but anyway, from within his mech, these projectors come out and sort of project out a what looks like a
cone of light, right?
Yeah, kind of creating a holographic wall in front of him, and I'm going to be using my other quick action to do ideal image. You create a data construct and a free adjacent space size 2 object that can look like almost anything and appears real to all systems. Construct provides hard cover, blocks line of sight, and has immunity to all damage. Character is treated as an obstruction, so cannot voluntarily move into it. However, if a character attempts to stand on it or is involuntarily moved into this area, it dissipates and is immediately destroyed. It lasts for the rest of the scene or until destroyed. You can use a system skill check as a full action to destroy it as well. So that will go. Let me ping where that will go. That will go right here in this hex in front of me, in between the turrets. And,
hold on.
Sure thing.
I accidentally moved the world around you.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, cool. Let me go grab a little token for you. What is it going to look like approximately? Like rubble or something?
It's gonna look like a fortified wall, like a sort of temporary piece of hard cover you'd set up like in a city street or something like that. It's gonna have like barbed wire at the top.
So, unfortunately, I don't have that at the ready, but I do have some sci-fi assets here. So let's go ahead and just drop some sci-fi looking assets on the map to cover you up here. How about oh, that's too big. That's way too big. Why are these so large? Are they 300? Yeah, they're more 300. There we go. There's one thing.
That'll do it.
And there.
I love it.
What does size 2 object mean?
Well, it occupies a 3, like a. So it's like this. Right.
I actually kind of thought it it only occupies one space, but it has a size. Like you know how mechs are different size on half size. This is size 2.
Right, but you wouldn't be able to be inside of it then.
I'm not inside of it. It's just adjacent to me.
Right. So adjacent to you, you create a size 2 object. These are multiple objects, but I'm just calling it a pile of fortified rubble.
Oh, okay. So size 2 usually takes up like 2 or 3 hexes on the map.
Well, I'm going to go on the page that describes mech sizes real quick and look at how big a size 2 mech is, because I believe it's that. It's like a triangle shape.
Okay.
Yeah, a size 2.
That's even bigger than I thought. Yeah,
I'm just gonna post it to you in our chat. The viewers can go look this up. But the templates for size 1, size 2, size 3, and size 4 are like a single hex. Size 2 is 3 hexes adjacent. Size 3 is equivalent to a burst 1, right? It's a hex in all the surrounding hexes. Yeah. And then a size 4 is one more step out beyond that. Remember that we're increasing in size of hexes, so it radiates out. You know what I mean?
Got it.
So does that make sense? So a size 2 is a grouping of 3 hexes.
That makes sense. So
but are you okay with that placement then?
That's perfect. That's exactly what I want. And it's kind of interesting because like I said, these projectors unfold out of the mech and kind of project this hollow image. If you were just standing outside as a person, it would look to you like transparent and kind of fake. It's a data construct. It's just that when you're in the mech, all your sensors think it's real.
They're perfect. They're perfect sensor data.
Yeah, basically. Exactly. And so it gives me hard cover.
Excellent.
All right, and that's 2 quick actions for me, and I'm done.
All right, so that is COMET done. Now we will go over to the... I also made your zone magenta because that's like your character color in the player list. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that
It
we know
is.
it's yours.
Perfect.
Okay, cool. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and activate one of the Smack Berserkers first. I'm going to activate Berserker S. And Berserker S is going to go ahead and move 5 into the control zone. Uh, and it is going to stage a reaction. You can tell it's preparing something.
Interesting.
All right, back to your side.
Chimera would like to go next.
Go right ahead.
Cool. So I am going. So Chimera's gonna run forward 5 spaces. So that would be let's say right there. And then it's going to overcharge an additional. I think it's only 3 or 4 spaces to, and using the jump boost jets to get on top of the tower. I guess that platform. I assume there's a space to stand there. Looking at the
Yes, yeah, absolutely. You can stand there.
Okay, so that's one heat from the overcharge.
1 heat for you. Yep.
And then gonna pull out the drill, or maybe he pulls it out as it's running forward, and is going to strike both turrets, starting with the left one.
Okay.
So,
we'll do turret 1 first then.
Yep. So first attack gets accuracy, and then the drill.
Turret A.
I'm sorry.
Turret A.
Yes. And then I also get accuracy because there's a mod on the drill. Where's the button? Here's the button. So, automatically. Well, that's nice. I never noticed it gives me the accuracy because I have the mod on here.
Nice.
So 2 accuracy. Yeah, that's it. Let's roll. 19.
Ooh, yeah, 19 definitely hits.
Oh, I overkilled. Wait, it does this all for me? That's really handy. So it does.
Nice. So you
right, 15.
rolled a 19. So what does that give you?
Damage is 12 plus 3.
Yeah,
Plus
you can see that on the 3, you rolled 1 twice.
Yeah.
So it rolled that, and then it rolled that again,
Ah.
and got a 3.
Yeah.
And that's why you have gained 2 more heat.
Yep.
It looks like.
Yep.
Nice.
So 15 damage total on A. And then here is my second attack. And I have this because
15 HP. So
yeah. It's close, but
well, yeah, it's the armor, right? It's halved or something.
No, because he's in range, so the bunker doesn't cut it in half.
Yep.
And he's also
It's
armor
only things
piercing.
beyond range 3. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I have this because Executioner I can attack a second time. So I'll roll again. This one's only gonna take half damage. So keep that in mind. And then button, only 1 accuracy this time. 14.
A 14 will still hit.
Oh, this so it's 17 damage, but unfortunately that's half of that. So 8 or 9. I forget how we round.
It's up.
Okay,
in
9.
Lancer. All right, so 9 damage there.
Yep. And
Nice.
yep, and I get a Blade Master dice for that.
And no overkill there, so no more heat for you.
Thank
luckily.
goodness.
All right, yeah. So you watch as the turret to your left just completely fucking goes up in a sparky explosion as you drill right through it.
Yep. And that will be me.
This is our first time really doing a fight in Foundry here. So I just want to look at what different options I have for displaying that it's dead. Let's see.
spoiled for choice.
I mean, there was the time where I put black holes in the map, so you know.
That was fun.
Good. You know what I think I'll do? I'm gonna redshift it for dead. How's that look?
Like it.
I'm into it.
All right.
Red means dead. Red Dead Redemption.
Don't tell my dog. It will
No
start
redemption
barking at the
arc here.
horses. All right, Chimera, you have completely destroyed the turret on the left. The turret on the right, turret B, did take a sizable hit from your drill, but still seems functional.
This is fine.
Anything else?
I've exhausted everything I could do because I can't even overcharge at this point.
Yeah, you already did so.
Yeah.
Nice job, Chimera.
All right. In response to that, I think the turret is going to have to activate.
No, it doesn't.
I think it does.
I disagree. Go ahead.
So it is going to. It is going to activate its repeater cannon. It is a large explosive cannon loads up on the front of the mech in front of you, Chimera. It is probably a little annoyed that it has to use this on you because it had a more tactical thing it wanted to do.
But it has no pilot.
But
This is a robot.
It can
Robots
be
have
tactical.
feelings.
Okay, go ahead. I don't think it could be annoyed.
So it is going to blast you with a cone as this superheated repeater cannon just starts unloading, and these small size but very explosive, powerful munitions start hitting into you. Let's see if it hits home here.
Oh, wow.
Oh, it even knows who it's targeting. That's funny.
Oh, that's
I
very interesting.
I really like these UI pieces.
Yeah, it says Chimera, 18 hit.
Is this the first time we've been in a fight with
Yes.
Foundry? That's why this is all new and amazing to me.
So it unleashes this repeater cannon on you and hits you. It does 3 damage.
So 1 with armor, right?
That's correct.
Cool.
You are also knocked back 3.
Yeah, I knew that was going to happen. Oh well. So do you control where that goes, Bob?
You are going to go directly away from it 3 hexes.
So 1.
So
2, 3.
just backwards through that cone.
Like this.
Yep, exactly.
Now I assume there's fall because of I'm coming off the wall.
It is a 1 space fall. I am not going to roll that is a severe enough fall for you to take damage from.
Okay, cool. I'm fine with that.
Mm-hmm. But yes, you are definitely knocked backwards off of the turret ledge there. All right. I like that it's smart enough to know who I'm targeting. That's cool.
Yeah, that's really cool. Fancy. Turret B will end its turn with lock-on since it's in the simulacrum.
Sounds good. Let's that's invisible. Stunned, danger, slowed. Where are you, Lock-On? You're the thing that I'm going to need to use the most.
Yeah.
There it is. Okay.
Get ready for
Lock-On
lots
applied.
of lock-ons.
Yep.
All right. Anything else, Chimera? Well, I guess that was its turn.
Yeah, I've been done.
You got knocked back. That is the thing that happened.
Anything else?
Yeah,
Smack turret
Chimera.
B.
What are you going to do about it?
I will be annoyed.
So, I think Smack Turret was that a full action or a no? That was just a single attack. Okay, so it can do something else. I guess it might as well barrage. I mean, it's not going to move.
I mean, that makes the most sense, I think.
Yeah, now it's going to barrage. Let's see. So it has a... I mean, it knows you're there, Comet, and this is arcing.
Sure.
But also, Chimera's out in the open and just hit it with a giant drill. So this is the zone it draws with the cannon it's firing.
Dang, that's a big AoE. All right.
So it is going to attack you with its bombard cannon. As a arcing large munition flies through the air, landing on top of you. 2 will be a miss.
How did I dodge that?
As a large explosion, as you're getting knocked back, you like regain your composure just enough that you're able to step out of the way of the incoming artillery shell.
Oh, that's cool. Even it actually says miss on the
Mm-hmm.
the tooltip. That's great.
All right, it is back to your side.
I'll go. I think
Yeah, go
Jay
for
wants
it.
to go last.
Yeah, I'm interested in where they're setting up. Yeah.
All right. So I can move a whopping 3 spaces.
Trundle,
There we go.
Trundle. You are just shy of the first control
Yeah,
zone.
it looks so close.
I mean, but I can fix that because I'm gonna barrage. Let's see.
That's right.
I'm gonna. Which one is the left one? Smack turret L. I'm gonna attack L. So we're gonna start with the heavy patterned laser rifle, and as part of firing this cannon, I can move 1 space in any direction. So firing the cannon launches me into the control zone.
Very nice.
Incredible.
How did the physics on that work?
You should have asked that the last 20 times he's done
Yeah.
this.
Let's see. There's no accuracy. Yep, probably.
I always thought of it as like extreme air vent cooling pushing him. Like it doesn't really matter the direction.
Oh, totally.
That makes
Yeah.
sense.
Like the pressure that releases from the blast, he just vents it out the back or something.
Yep.
All right, that's going to be towards the left turret.
Yep.
You
I rolled
also
a 19.
take 3 heat from that.
Yep.
The L turret gets hit for, what's that, 11 plus 3?
14. So probably half because I'm not within 3. But it also now has 3 burn on it.
Yeah, it'll be halved because you're not within 3 of it. So what's that? What's half of 11? 6, right?
I think it's just straight up 14 damage and then it's halved because the burn.
Because burn doesn't have. Oh, it's resistance, not. Yeah, you're right. It would be 7 then.
Yeah.
Because it's resistance, not armor.
Yep. Mm-hmm. And then it would take the 3 damage if it fails its roll on its turn.
Gotcha. All right.
And
What
then
now,
I'm gonna
Ryan?
follow up with my laser rifle, and we'll see how well this goes. Ooh, a 9.
A 9 still beats its evasion. It is a stationary turret.
Well, I deal a whopping 2 damage.
1 more heat for you. And hey, at least one of those damages is another burn.
Yep, so now it's got 4 burn.
So it takes 1 more damage because of the resistance, but it's now up to 4 burn.
Yep, so that's what, a total of, I've done 8 damage total.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Okay. I think that's all I can do this round. Yeah, that's all I'll do this round.
All right, that's Orion done. In response, I'm going to activate that turret that's just been hit. All right, so Orion, The turret on the left is going to target you with
Cool.
its repeater cannon. And 16 will hit. So that will do 3 explosive damage.
So 2 because of armor.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And it pushes me back, 3 spaces?
Pushes you back 3 spaces.
Oh no. 19 out of 21.
Oh
Rude.
Straight back from it, or just straight back?
Straight back from it. Yeah.
So like there, I guess.
Yeah, that could be one of the 2 options, or the one to the left of that would be fine too.
Not sure matters
that
too
works.
much.
All right, so you use everything you got to rush into the zone, and after you unload on it, it just unleashes on you with its barrage of its counter barrage of repeater cannon, and it is such force behind these blasts. It doesn't actually do much damage to your armor, but just the kinetic energy it's unleashing on you. Hey everyone, this is Bob. I am just dropping in here to say at about this point in the video, I lost power and we had to stop the recording. So we did end up calling time on this session. Everyone saved what they were doing, and luckily we didn't lose any audio or video that I was recording, so we're good there. But we will pick back up in the next session right where we left off. So we will see you all next time. And speaking for everyone else, we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.